Hi everyone, this is Diane. I have been doing a lot of work in this very adorable paper doll themed journal, and I've been doing it off camera, and now I'm going to do some finishing work with you. So I have 3 signatures in this book. I have a pocket on the front with the paper dolls in it. I'm going to grab some seam binding so I can put seam binding in some of my tags. I think I'll use pink for this one. It is Friday, late afternoon, and I did some work this morning. I did 2 hours in here, and then had my lunch, and my daughter came over to watch The Masked Singer with me. Now, we used to watch that in our own homes across town from each other, and we would watch it at the same time and then text each other while we watched. But now, if we want to, we can just go across the yard into the other one's house. But there will be weeks that we want to just watch it in our own home if we're like in our pajamas or something. But, you know, we have the option, so that was fun. So there's that. So I'm getting down here, I'm getting my video done late because we spent 2 hours in the middle of the afternoon watching The Masked Singer, which I do not regret. I put a ruffle on there. There's lots of blank space for you to work on. There are paper doll clothes in this little bag, and I did a collage on the bag. So there is a bag in each signature, and that means I had to do 4 collages in each signature because there's 4 sides to the bag. I love this little girl. This is a vintage piece. He's cracked and taped. And this is a digital. I added some game pieces. I think you saw Candyland piece and the password piece here. I think maybe I need to move up a little bit. Did that help a little bit? This one I just put a note paper on and a little flower, and there's a time card. That's a time card. These are digitals. Most of these are from Red Deb, and I labeled this box Retro. That's a Betsy McCall, but I thought I could put her on it, but I didn't realize she was attached to those other 2 characters. I'll just put him on it. I could put a tab or piece of fabric on that. Let me see where it's going to land in the book. Yeah, I think if I sew it down at the bottom of the signature, I could put a tab on that. See if we can do a colorful one. See if I like it. I like the colors. We are having spring-like temperatures right now after our couple of weeks of very cold weather and ice and snow. But today it's been 50s or high 40s or low 50s. And we had very, very high winds. We've been having a lot of wind this winter, but today was like the wailing wind. I love to hear wind, but I think it's died down now. I will include some ephemera pieces you can add to pages like this. And I put some vintage envelopes, at least this one's vintage, and some cards in there. I'll show you those in detail when we do the flip through. There's a Mother Goose card. So these were a set of Mother Goose cards that I got at a thrift store. And I don't have all of them. I probably used the first one that goes with this. These are from 1985. So I'm missing the card that said Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep. But I have the other 3. I can't tell where to find them. So each signature has one of those cards. And I took this out of a 1960s sewing pattern catalog, put it on blue cardstock, added this embroidered ribbon, and sewed around it. So that's a nice journaling card for in there. So that signature is done, I think. Again, we have another pattern catalog page. This one has a, what is it? Not seam binding. It's the other thing. Bias tape. And it's got this crochet bit on the edge, kind of a rickrack. So it was doubled. It was made to go over the edge, the raw edge of a fabric, but I put it over the edge of the journal card. More doll clothes in there. This I have to do something with. I don't know what I will do. How about a paper doll outfit? Like, let's see if I can find another cute one that's already cut out. Probably too big for that page. How about that little night dress? Okay, all crumpled up. It's a very thin paper. seam binding in here. This is white and it has a turquoise edge. And further up on it, it's got some green. All right, now this is where I put the little shoes and hair bows, but because it's not completely, there's like a little gap in the middle here. This was a die, one of those steel cut dies. And the pieces are small. They can slip out. So what I'm going to do is cut a little piece of cardstock or paper or something just to lay on top of them to hold them in place, especially the bows. I'm worried about them slipping out. There are some hair bows and there's a flower piece in here. So, got to get a measurement. It's a little over 2 inches by 2.5. I'll see how this looks. It matches that paper there. So I don't know if I'll like it, but we'll try it. So it was 2.5 one way and 2 inches. A little over 2, so I'm going to cut this at 2 this way, and not quite 2.5, just so it'll fit inside. I need to cut that a little narrower. And then when I tie that up, those pieces won't slip out. Now you don't have to pull the string out all the way. You do have to remove it from one of the flaps, but it can remain in the other flap. And you don't want to pull too hard on the strings when you're tying it, or you'll pull it right through the hole. Tearing the hole, tearing the paper. Okay, now they're secure in there. This one says, leave them alone and they'll come home. I don't want to stamp on this page because I have this pocket here and the stamping would be uneven. Maybe I could put this figure right here. Why not? And then on the back we have that fabric pocket, and I put in this note paper with Louis the Lightning Bug, and this sheet that says things to buy, things to do, and a vintage bingo card. I sewed a vintage coaster on it and put a paper on the back, a patterned paper, and then one of those things to buy pieces. I have these little die cuts. Someone gave me the die a while ago, and it has houses. So that could be a little doll house. That's cute. And I'll put some seam binding in that. I have this skinnier seam binding. I ordered it by mistake. I ordered white seam binding quite a few years ago. 100 yards of it, and it was 1/4 inch instead of 1/2 inch. But it'll be great for this little tag. I usually double it when I use it. Ooh, I need a tag or a card in there. So I think what I will do is look for a greeting card that might fit in that pocket. A vintage greeting card. Oh, that fits. I love the colors. That's perfect. And I might put an index card or something in there too, so you can journal on it, but you can open this up and journal on that too. I did have a tag in here, but I didn't like that the tag was so tall with this pocket. I thought I liked it at first, but turns out I didn't. There are doll clothes in here. And all the doll clothes that are in the paper sack go on the dolls that are in the front pocket of the journal. Oh, I did decorate that. Okay, well, I just need a tab on it. It's red on the front and the multicolor on the back. It was a striped paper that I punched. I like the red on the front to pick up the red flower centers and the orangey red of that flower. Then we can have the party colors on the back. Lots of space for journaling on that card. I think you'll see this video on Monday, and I'm hoping to have time to list the Valentines, antique and vintage Valentines this weekend. I wanted to do it on Saturday, and I like to prep everything the day before if I can, but I didn't do anything. I prepped, like I have them sorted into the packages, but I didn't video it or take pictures or anything yet. Just cover up that hole with, oh, it's got sprayed on the back. I don't think I want to use that. Let's do two-sided paper. And I'm not going to make it I was thinking I could make that a pocket, but there's a hole right there, so no. I hope this won't be too stiff because that's a thin wrapping paper and this is a cardstock piece. Maybe I should use thin paper, but I don't know. Do I have thin paper that's double-sided? I've got things piled up everywhere. Remember my nice, neat studio that I showed you the other day? It's being used. Seems like all the double-sided are thicker, but my Stampin' Up, there's one. My Stampin' Up is a thinner paper that is double-sided. I just don't want to cut up a whole sheet just for a little piece. That's a thin piece. It's not scrapbook paper. Okay, I'll use one of those two pieces. Oh, there's a blue one too. These are just graph paper. Maybe I'll just use this. It's a good solution. up a little too high here. This one is a thicker piece, but it's not folded. So there we go. Yeah. And these little glassine envelopes have the hats divided up in there. All of the hats are in there. And bring their tails behind them. And here I just need to add seam binding. I would like to put a pocket on the back. I think one similar to this is the best kind. A big pocket that's not flat against the cover will be loose and stuff will be moving around in there. I think it's easier for that to happen with a big pocket. That's in my perception. So I just need to find a cardstock piece. I'll contrast it with the pretty flowers. I think they look good with the paper doll theme. So it's 6 7/8 by 6 1/8. I don't know what I'm going to put in this pocket yet, but I will find something, and I might decorate the front of that. I'm not sure. So that'll be a surprise for when you see the final flip through. But I'll put something in the pocket. So I do want to add a charm. So I'm going to put an eyelet in here. I could actually sew this journal together tonight. I don't see the ruler I usually use for centering. It's probably buried, but I can use this. It's 2-inch spine, so I just have to put it at the 1-inch spot. I'll use a blue one. There's the washer. I know a lot of people use the Big Bite, and I have a Big Bite, but I never have luck doing it with that. I probably should practice with it. This is going to make noise. So I will edit through this. Put my eyelet in. This helps hold everything in place. There's the washer. And then I slide this hole onto the stem of the setter. And then after I tie my cord, or sew my signatures in, I'll tie cords on there and attach some fun things on the spine. So I'm just going to go ahead and make my template piece for poking holes in the spine and the covers, or the signatures. You've seen me do that before, so I will just say thank you for coming with me. I know this is going to be a short video once I edit things out of it, but I didn't really have that much left to do in it. So I'm excited that this will soon be a finished journal. So I'm hoping you already saw the Valentines in my shop on the weekend. And if I didn't get them in my shop on the weekend, I'll get them in very, very, very soon. And then you'll see this video, and then you'll see the flip through video of this. So just know that this journal will be coming to my shop very soon. And then I'll get started on the other two paper diligent journals. This is the one that will be in my shop. So come on back to that. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you're having a creative day. Bye.